the genesis and the evolution of racism in the world, for that matter, goes back many, perhaps thousands of years back. But in South Africa, it was associated with the colonial settlement period some 340 years ago, and has become a salient feature of the sociology of discrimination, of othering people in this country on the basis of the ostensible, phenotypical characteristics of how a person comes across, as what they call black and white and so on. None of these categories makes any sense in a biological or scientific sense, because there's only one race, the human race, and there are no such things as different races or racial groups for that matter. They have become racialized as a result of institutional racism and colonialism over the centuries. And so the challenge for us is to recognize the fact that we belong to the same human family, and simultaneously then to contest and to disrupt any effort to racialize the human condition. And racism manifests itself, of course, in a variety of different ways, and some very overt signatures and manifestations of racism. When someone calls you a name that is obviously there to belittle or to subjugate you or to other you, or it could be subliminal or covert, in a sense that someone does not tell you what he or she thinks about you, but in their behavior you feel affronted, you feel alienated, you feel othered as a result of that. And so we need to contest racism, both in people speaking against it and those that harbor racist dispositions towards other people should fundamentally reorientate themselves in the way that they look at others, accepting the principle of the inalienable equality of all human beings. And so that is the challenge, because it's not so much often overtly expressed than a lived experience which is subconscious. And how does one know that one has a prejudicial or a racist disposition towards any person? It requires one then to uncover the way racism works as a psychosocial mechanism in the human imagination, and a great deal of introspection has then to be thought. We have to think about ourselves very self-critically as individuals, all of us, black and white, in the way that we perceive and we construct people that appear to be different to us on the basis of phenotypical features, how their hair looks like, the color of their skin, and so on as well, and assume or read from that inequalities, or you treat people differently on the basis of those superficial phenotypical differences as well. And I think a great deal has to be done to still deal with the manifestations of racism at a micro-personal level. I encourage my colleagues, students and staff, stakeholders of the university, to participate in the Racism at NMMU research project, because it's so crucial for us to begin to let the community reflect on how do we, first of all, identify the scourge of racism, but crucially also to find the pathways to its alternatives, the development of a non-racial society, a society that we recognize differences, but such differences are not constructed as inequalities or as a means to subjugate or to marginalize anybody on the basis of our diversity. And I hope that you will participate in this project, because without you, that alternative future that is envisaged in our Constitution is just not possible. Thank you very much.